Hello, my reading friends. Welcome back. My name is Melissa. I am the Jane Austen Literacy Foundation Community Manager, and I am really excited to be hanging out with you today to share with you our August reading challenge. These monthly challenges are a lot of fun, and I did recently have someone comment in the community because Jane Austen July was going on, and then we had our book club in the community, and they said I felt so stressed with all the books that I wanted to be reading, so I just had to pick one. And that was all that my time allowed and go with it. And I just wanted to tell you that reading is meant to be fun, relaxing, enjoyable. Do whatever you have the space to do and don't let it feel like a chore or homework or something that you have to be doing. Just enjoy the book. Read it in whatever space that you have. And if you read a book for the month and that's a big stretch for you, that's amazing. If you read 10 books for the month and you had time to do it and it felt like a wonderful, enjoyable time along the journey, then that is great as well. So just keep that in mind when we're doing these monthly challenges, that we don't want you to feel any pressure as you are doing them. They are free for you to grab on our Patreon community, so you can head over there. I will have the link down below in the description box for you to find the August challenge. And while you're there, consider checking out all the amazing things that you can have if you upgrade to our paying tiers on Patreon. And keep in mind that your membership, your subscription that you have to our Patreon community helps us to be able to provide literacy programs for children in need around the world. So you can feel good while joining in the community. So we have a few prompts for this month. I'm going to pull them up here. You can either download the sheet or you can take a screenshot and grab them on your phone. Our first prompt for the month is epistolary excursion, to read a book that includes letters somehow in the book. So I remembered that I had in my library stack this Jane Austen's Lost Letters. This sounds like a lot of fun. It's a bit of a cozy mystery vibe to it. There's a package that shows up, and she has these letters that have been sent from her deceased father, and they appear to be between Jane and Cassandra, and she needs to find out where these letters came from, what's going on with them, and it just sounds like a really fun read. So that is in my pile of possibilities for August. The next prompt that we have is Regency Rendezvous. So dive into a novel set in the Regency era. For this one, I decided to pull a short book here. It's a really fun book. It's very unique in its setting. If you've seen Mr. Malcolm's List, this is by the same author, Susanna Lane. This is a little bit harder to get your hands on. I did have to hunt down a used copy, but just a really fun premise. This would be a reread for me. I would highly recommend checking this one out. The next we have is character evolution. Choose a book where the main character undergoes a significant transformation or personal growth throughout the story. And for this one, I thought I would go a little bit contemporary, and I have from the library, Nora Goes Off Script. This one I don't know as much about, but I believe Nora is a Romance Channel screenwriter. She has, I believe, a divorce situation going on. She's kind of reinventing herself, and it just sounds a really fun read. I saw this mentioned on a few lists as a favorite for different people, so this will be going into the pile of possibilities. All right, for prompts number 4, we have Sail the Seas, read a book with water on the cover. And I found 2 that I had for this that fit into the category. So I have Miss Morgan's Book Brigade. That's a definite tongue twister. This one is it's a dual timeline, I believe 1918, the Great War, and then 1987. Obviously, it has something to do about books during the war, and this, I believe, is a fairly new release. I believe it came out in May. So this is definitely on the list of books to grab. And then for a contemporary romance, I have Shipwrecked. This is about 2 actors, and they are kind of thrown together while they're in a role of, I believe that they are playing in, it says Gods of Gates, co-stars. So this seemed like a really fun premise, and there is water on the cover, so we're throwing that into the mix. And then next we have, I have to pull out my prompts here again. It is Love for Library. So this prompt is simply choose your own adventure prompt to take books that you have checked out from the library and consider reading one of those. So I actually have two picks again as possibilities. So I have the Outlaw Noble Salt. This is about Butch Cassidy, and this would also fall under a character that has a large story arc, I believe. There is, I think, a little bit of romance going on in this book, obviously historical fiction. I have not yet read any books by Amy Harmon, but I see from her reviews and I hear her mentioned frequently, so I think this would be a fantastic read. So that is going in the pile. And then have Happy Place by Emily Henry. I have been binging Emily Henry books this summer. Book Lovers, I think, has been my favorite so far, but Happy Place was quite hard to get my hands on from the library. I've had a request in for months. The list was very long, so I was excited to have this come in. Let me know if you have read any of Emily Henry books down in the comments below. And then the last, we always have 2 free spaces. We really want you to just take this and fill it in with whatever you want. And you do not need to do every prompt that is listed on the challenge. But I think for my last one, I am going to grab Light Changes Everything. This just has such a fun description. It's the summer of 1907, and it says, Mary, Pearl, and her sister Esther take their minds off of the heat by sneaking banned Jane Austen novels from Aunt Sarah Eliot's lively bookshelf. And I just thought you don't often see books set in that early 1900s time period as frequently. And the fact that they're sneaking Jane Austen books just sounds like a really fun premise. So that is the last book that is going into my pile of possibilities for August. I would love to know what you're planning on reading for August, or what makes it into your pile of things that you might possibly read. I know if you're anything like me, it is definitely a as the mood strikes, what you feel in the moment, and you grab things. But I like to kind of start off my month with a pile of books that I might possibly get to for the month. And I find that the reading challenge also helps me to have a little bit of focus and structure around my reading as well. It will turn into an adventure. We will see what happens, and I will definitely report back at the end of the month to see what books that I did make it through. Let me know what you were loving. Let me know the last book that you read. I would love to know that, and if you would recommend it. Take a moment, check out our community. If you have a second, to hit the subscribe button, that really helps to grow the channel. And as always, I really appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me today. Happy reading, and I'll see you soon. Bye.